So he's going to take the victory. Dennis Hauge is going to finish in second.
The atmosphere is great. You're having a good time.
I think for a driver it's great, especially for us, you know, being a home circuit for us. But also for the fans, it's a great atmosphere to be on.
This is what we do.
Race 1 of Aragon. See a car facing all the way around the wrong way. Chris Lullum. Oh, well, Chris Lullum's just been sent off the circuit.
Okay.
There's going to be contact, exactly the same as what happened to Lullum. Florian is going to pick up a win. Congratulations to him. Final race of today. So Ariel's going to move up the inside. Oh dear, that ain't good. That is a lovely move. Still not completely done. Got the outside that's been left the smallest gap in the world to try and make an overtake. And well, I think he's going to fill that gap. This is the battle for the lead. We've got less than 5 minutes to go. See a lock up there from Nesov. So has Lullum got a big enough gap to work with as we come up towards the third from last corner? Around the final corner we're going to come. And I tell you what, it's Chris Lullum again, isn't it? That pesky Lullum is going to take the checkered flag and the race victory. Real racers never quit. Season 4, round 1 is away. There is some contact in the background. Is there a spin? There is a spin. That's Alexei Nesov to Max in P5. Unfortunately, Verstappen is now 1.7 back, and there's just nothing you can do. And I think Will Chadwick's decided, you know what, I'm going for this. I'm absolutely going to go for this. I don't mind if that group of 4 behind catches up. Now look who's involved. It is an 8-way battle for the race lead. This is what we want from Real Racers Never Quit. Max there with a little touch to the back, and is that a spin? Oh, it is. Now down to P11, being caught by Dries Vanthoor and Alexei Nesov. Oh, almost a bit of touchy. And all of a sudden, Gustavo Ariel managed to make himself a lovely little home in P4 from P7. So things are very much warming up. Oh, car just disappeared. That's on the Steinbreiten. And Lullum is just about going to get it, I believe. And it's going to finish in second spot. Gustavo Ariel finishes in third. Kiter will take 4th. The top 5 then for William Chadwick.
Champion, that's unbelievable.
My big dream is F1, of course.
He will be 17 when he will have his first race.
Max Verstappen, you are a race winner. Fantastic. What a great debut. That was epic. You've won your home race.
Nice pushing 72 laps here. I love it. Great job, guys.
P10 to P1. Congratulations. Awesome drive.
Max, that is mighty. 10 races in a row, you're on your own, mate, now. That's history. Max, you are a 3-time world champion. That's unbelievable, mate. Absolutely unbelievable.
All missions. What a year. Well done, my friend.
Round 2 of Real Racers Never Quit 2024. Because there's carnage in the background, there's contact in the background. Boy, oh boy, are they fighting here at Silverstone. And now we've all of a sudden got a 7-car race. Here's some side-by-side action a bit further back there. As there's almost contact between there, Bennett and Chadwick. Bennett trying to get up to P3, but it's well worth it. Enzo Benito, off we go. That's Sam Kiter. And well, who's going to come out on top here? Chris Ludlam on the inside, Max Verstappen round the outside. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, you can make a move round the outside successfully as we head through Magus and Beckett still side by side. So Max leads the way as we're on the final lap. Real Racers Never Quit, round number 2. Race victory is going to go to Max Verstappen. It is round number 3 of the Real Racers Never Quit. Kasper Stucker is going to make a move on Luke Bennett. Luke Bennett will not be able to defend that. Stucker, oh, he sends it, and Bennett is being binned off. Max gets a really nice run. Then the slipstream comes out for Chris Ludlam. They are side by side, and how close will it be? Across the line they will go. It is just about going to go to Max, I think. Yes, it is. Here we go. We're already off, ladies and gentlemen. As it goes 3 wide in towards turn 1. Did they get through there without contact? And well, there we go. Well, that is a flying car. Oh, there's contact then. Enzo's facing the wrong way. That pesky 3-time Formula 1 world champion moves up into a podium spot. Look at the run Max has got. He's got the slipstream here. Diogo Pinto's in the middle. It is Sidra City. Who's going to take the victory here? Is it going to be Ludlam? I think it's going to be, I don't know. It is Chris Ludlam. Oh my.
My big dream is F1, of course.
Everything will be okay.
Round 4 of Real Racers Never Quit 2024. So then Enzo sweeps around the outside. Says thank you very much. As it is 2x2 then coming up through Snake. That is the big off. Ooh, so there is the big. Oh! Well, they were racing. Oh, 2 lockups there on the inside. Oh, no, that's not good. Enzo under braking on the inside will take that position, although he nearly completely loses the car. Oh, Florian's gone. Florian drops off then. Oh, no, there's contact then between Ludlam and Bennett. So Enzo Benito is going to take the victory. Dennis Howard is going to finish in second. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it feels like we started this yesterday, but welcome to the finale of Real Racers Never Quit 2024. Oh boy, it's been a journey, but again, you blink and you absolutely miss it. We are at Fuji here today in the Ferrari 296 GT3. I'm a little bit emotional. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit emotional here because it is the final round of Real Racers Never Quit, but who's to say that this is the last one we ever do? I'm pretty sure that we'll do some more in the future. Anyway, my name is Luke Crane. I will be your commentator slash host slash general dog's body today, and we're all here just to have a real little bit of fun. It's the final round, of course. We've already crowned our Real Racers Never Quit champion, but let's check out how things are going to work out today. So first up then, let's have a shout out to our technical partners. We've got obviously our host, which is Team Redline, AMX, the technical partner in the background, and then we are supported by Simicube and Verstappen.com. 6 rounds in total with 3 car classes. Of course, we've got 1 more race to go. Top 20 drivers are awarded the points. And while the drivers, well, we know that now, don't we? It's sim racers and real life drivers combined, making up our grid. So let's look at the schedule. We had Daytona, we had Silverstone, we had Mugello, which if you remember Mugello, and indeed the final race at Mugello where there was, what, 100th of a second separating 3 drivers. One of my personal highlights of the season, that's for sure. And actually, if you do have a personal highlight of the championship, get it involved in the chat. I'm seeing a lot of people saying hello. Hello, everybody. It's nice to see you all saying hello. We then headed to Virginia International Raceway, where we saw some incredible side-by-side action along the snakiest and narrowest circuit of the championship. Then we headed to Aragon, and, well, we saw Gabby Bortoletto not only get involved with another car of Dennis Hauger, punt him over the wall, and the wall go, nope, you're coming back over, and get him punted back over on track. It was incredible. But today, we are at Fuji International Speedway. We're in a GT3 Ferrari, and everybody will be in exactly the same car. Right, this is the format then for today. We've got a 20-minute practice session, which is happening right now as we are speaking. We then have 4 laps of qualification. Whoever posts the best lap time simply starts at the front end of the grid. And the race is 30 minutes long. So a 30-minute timed race, a little bit longer than what we've had, and it goes right back to the roots of round 1 earlier on in the season when we were at Daytona. Right, there we go. This is the point system then. So this is how people can earn points. Again, we've already crowned our champion, but there are still P2 up for grabs and maybe even P3. But top position will get 30 points, all the way down to 20th spot, who will get 1 solitary point. Let's check out then the leaderboard for this championship, and there is Christopher Lunham. 30 points is the maximum you can get. He is already 37 points clear of Gustavo Ariel. So Christopher Lunham is your Real Racers Never Quit 2024 champion. Congratulations to him. He's actually got 3 race victories in this season, and there is one driver that could match that today, Max Verstappen, who's currently in 7th spot. If he wins today, he would have 3 wins as well. We'll go through a few stats actually while we go into the practice session that I've written down myself. Gustavo Ariel in 2nd spot is on 133 points. Very difficult for anybody to catch him up. Benito is in 3rd then with 118 points. Luke Bennett on 109 points in 4th. Lebigra on 106. Then Chadwick on 104 points is your top 6. They all have over that 100 point mark. Then we've got Verstappen, who of course could not make the last 2 rounds. He's on 94 points. Pinto on 74. 64 for Heyerdahl. Hauger on 62. We've then got Nessov, Keiter, Deligny, Stucker, Seppanen, Bortoletto, Crawford, Job, Junkadea, and Steinbraten as your 20 drivers. Right, let's check out then the track that we're on today. We're at Fuji. I love this place in terms of commentating on it. Racing around it, not so much. You have to be absolutely perfect around here. And I believe we're using the no chicane version, which is all right by me. So at turn 10, instead of going through a chicane of 11 and 12, you just head up the hill in towards the final complex of corners. We're in Oyama, Shizuku. That's the city. We're in Japan, of course. This opened in 1965. That was, yeah, Dom was definitely born before then. The length of the circuit is 4.5 kilometers long. But let's check out then car that we will be using today. And just like Daytona, we've got the Ferrari 296 GT3 engine, 3.0 litres or 3 litres, V6, 600 brake horsepower, 712 Newton meters. Again, more information, what that means, who knows. We've then got the weight, it is 1,250 kilograms, and it has a sequential gearbox. Lovely old job. Right, let's head then out to... Well, we've got a few stats we're going to look at actually before we head anywhere. So I'm going to talk some stats here. So wins, in terms of wins, we have got Chris Lunham, who's got 3. Max Verstappen's got 2. And then you've got Enzo Benito and Florian Lebigra, who both have 1 race victory. So Max today could tie that Chris Lunham. Top 5s, the most top 5s is Chris Lunham. He's got 5. He has 2 more than anybody. Gustavo Ariel, he has 3, along with Max Verstappen, who has 3. And then we have 2 for Diogo Pinto, and then there's a lot of other drivers with 1. In terms of top 5s, we have 6 each for Gustavo Ariel and Christopher Lunham. Max has 3 along with Enzo, Luke Bennett, Lebigra and Chadwick. In terms of top 10s, well, there's only 2 drivers that have managed a top 10 in every single race this season, and that is Christopher Lunham and Gustavo Ariel. So there we go. Lovely old job. Well, it looks like we're going to come back and see my face for a couple of minutes. But yeah, as I said, it's not emotional, I guess. It's not the end of the world that it's ended the championship today, but it feels like it had just started only yesterday. It's been a lot of fun. We've seen a lot of obscure, I won't say obscure tracks, obscure cars maybe. than what we're not used to seeing in terms of these championships. We see some real racers who've given up their time, and of course the sim drivers giving up their time. But most importantly, you, the audience, thank you so much for taking part and being a part of this, because some of the banter you've thrown out in the chat, some of the shares in terms of social media, some of the videos you've picked up as well. And yeah, I see all the comments whenever the highlight videos go out there. I see all the comments and all of the discussion. We've had some incredible finishes, none more so than Mugello. Mugello had 2 incredible races for us. But let me know where you're watching in the chat then. I'm just going to quickly keep an eye on it. I can just see it to my left-hand side. Let me know where you're watching from around the world, and make sure that if you have not already, that you follow us on Twitch. So hit that follow button before we go into our races. Make sure you head to Twitter, or X as it's called now, at teamredline sim. We will be doing a driver of the round vote there, so make sure you go and follow and set notifications to on for the page, and that way you can indeed then vote for your driver of the round. Also, make sure you follow us over on Instagram for Team Redline Sim as well, and we're on TikTok too. Right, now we're going to head to practice, because we've actually got some racing action coming your way. Let's head over to Fuji. So there we go, we have got some action on the screens then, ladies and gentle cars. Not too sure who we're on board with, but we're on board with a Ferrari, which could be absolutely anybody on the grid. Also, yes, definitely come and join the Discord as well, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully the link works today, which is always good. But yeah, let's get it on. We've got Elise watching from Sweden. You love to see it. Again, everyone else, type where you are from now. I can see the chat, so I'll give a little look. So this is a lap of Fuji. With a sweeping right-hander. Taking our time, touch edge, maybe warming up the tyres. We've got Austin, Texas, Poland, Argentina, Azerbaijan, and now it's moving too quickly. Oh my, it's going ridiculously. Australia, Antarctica. I don't believe that. You have to send proof. You have to send proof in the picture. The county of tratters and pasties. I certainly know where that is. I know where Cromwell is. Don't you worry about that. Right. So we've got some of our names on the grid then. So we've got Gianni Vecchio. We have got Ollie Steinbratton. We've got Max Verstappen. We've got still, just over 10 minutes of practice left to go here. Max Wennick, the legend of the DNLS round number 3. Oh, what an absolute ledge, picking up the win with Max Verstappen, or should I say Max Squared, picking up a victory, as we've got Mark Elkerman on the screen and the car on your track. So we've also got Atze Kirchhoff racing today, Jeffrey Rietveld. We've got Josh Martin, who, well, maybe, just maybe, might be a cause of some bowling down in towards turn number 1, who knows. We've got William Chadwick, we've got Manley as well, and Gustavo Ariel racing today. Gianni the Toaster. Yeah, we'd love to see Gianni the Toaster, but he's not being a toaster today. He's actually going relatively quickly. Also, has Mark got hit? We need to go back on camera with Mark here. I need to do some investigative work. I believe he's got his camera on his iPad facing his fridge. So he's got the Red Bull fridge on his iPad, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible. That's I'm sure we'll see that. There we go. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure he's got an iPad there with a camera that's facing his fridge, and he's got the camera on the iPad. That is very impressive. You've just got to show some respect for that. You've got to show a lot of respect. Fair play. Oh, what a legend. Red Bull are pretty happy with him today. That's absolutely incredible. Oh, that is, yeah. That is commitment. We've got a little bit of drafting happening here as well. We're on board with Max now. Not too sure who Max is in front of. It's got some lights flashing there. Yeah, one of my bugbears. I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan of people flashing their lights. And it's just continuous. Who is that? I reckon that's Gianni Vecchio in behind. Seems like a Gianni Vecchio thing to do. No, it's not. It's Ollie Steinbratton. It's number 71. So Ola doing the old flashing of the lights. But there is Max on screen, looking as handsome as ever. He's currently 3rd fastest right now. Not a lot to choose between them. A 10th of a second maybe? Yeah, about a 10th of a second. I'm pretty surprised that Gianni Vecchio is the top of the timesheets. Whether they're showing their true pace or not, I think a 6 is going to be handy for qualifying. I think if you get a low 6, 34.6, you're going to be right in the sharp end, maybe pole position. Atze Kirchhoff, by the way, rolling back the years. Half a second off the pace of these guys. That is impressive. Atze, oh, what did you have for breakfast? That is fast. But across the line we will go. I think we're about to start a flying lap here. Not sure this is going to be a fast one. No, it wasn't. It was a 47.430, so maybe just warming up those tyres. Oh, Domino. Domino's in the chat. Hello, Dom. Long time no speak. There is Gianni Vecchio, the absolute toaster. He's got the Mario, Super Mario. And he's also got the active pedal cam today. So if you're into feet, there you go. If you're into pedals, well, you're even more luck. You get to see both. Love that. Simply lovely. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. This is fixed setup, Red Eye. Yes, they have a setup that has been worked on. So it's not a fixed setup that maybe you'd have in a Ferrari fixed series on iRacing. But yeah, it's one that's been made for the series. Oh, there's a two-time Rolex 24 winner, Daniel Morad. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. The two-time. Take off the socks. No, we don't need to see that. We do not need to see. We do not need to see some actual feet. No. Gianni had an operation last year as well, which... Yeah, let's just get off this subject right now. Let's just not get involved. Gianni Vecchio, does he go any faster? No, he does not. So it's a 34.693. Still going to be pretty happy with that. Although he's just crossed the line. He's just done a 34.767. So very consistent, I would say. Very consistent for a long lap as well. Why Max no feet cam? Red Eye, come on. Come on. Don't be odd. Let's just chill for a bit, shall we? But yeah, make sure you get your snacks and your drinks over the next 6 minutes, because once we get going here, it will not stop. The action will not stop. We've got a qualifying session, and then we are straight into a 30-minute timed race. That's done. The season is over. So there's Gustavo Ariel. Make sure you go follow all of our drivers as well. At Gustavo Ariel BR. Our little Brazilian. He's a good-looking chap, isn't he? And his quotes are, Receba. Su. I think if everybody could say their quotes from Redline, it would probably be shoo. Tom Manley moves up into, well, he's in 11th spot. Just doing a tyre sort of temperature warm-up. Nothing too crazy. All the Brazilians in the chat, there's lots of you. You've been massively supporting the series this season as well. Always good to see it. But yeah, Gustavo was actually racing in the AMX Global League. Of course, AMX are one of our technical partners, or are the main technical partner, putting the broadcasts on. And that's where Redline effectively saw his talent. And now he is a Redline driver, so he's representing AMX Global, but he ultimately is now a Redline driver. Max Verstappen! Stop it. Stop it, Max. Unbelievable. 34.606. Surprises me every time he gets behind the sim. Of course, we should expect him to be relatively quick. He is a three-time Formula World Champion. But on the sim, he just keeps finding ways to impress. And it's just like water off a duck's back. This doesn't even look like he's that impressed. Quite ridiculous. He is up against the very best sim racers in the world right now. And just pops it on pole or the fastest time in practice, as if it's just, yeah, cool, nothing. Don't worry about it. It's cool. I was born to do this, which quite literally he was. There's William Chadwick giving us the lean. Love to see that. It adds an extra 0.4 of a second per lap, by the way, just to let you know. So yeah, William Chadwick's lean adds 0.4 of a second. I lean a little bit further than that, and I get about 4.5, but there's a bigger ceiling for me because I'm about 3 seconds slower. Look at that lean, there we go. Just gaining that time. It's science, ladies and gentlemen, it's just science. Another lean there, love to see that. Also moving the lips a touch as well. It can only help, I'm surprised he doesn't fill his mouth with like water or something so that when he leans there's a bit more weight that brings the car over. And here is Max Wennig, fresh from that DNLS round 3 heroic stint at the end that got him the race victory, where we all spammed the Discord. Nearly broke the Discord, by the way. in congratulating him, and yeah, then he did actually put an Instagram post out there. So make sure you go follow Max, guys. He put a nice Instagram post out there to say he really loved all of the support. Obviously, we know that he was probably, I would say, top 5 sim racers in the world a few years ago, but he got really hit hard with COVID, and he's kind of just about recovered from it. So he's yeah, had a bit of a tough couple of years, but he's now back, winning races. He's part of the duo that is Max Squared. The Twitch chat named him. They named them Max Squared. So Chris Lullum, unfortunately, has got to practice for other events happening this weekend. So there, they've got a lot of practice to do. So you'll see most of the pest drivers will be practicing for that this weekend, guys, which I'm sure you can understand, especially after their incredible results that they had last week at Daytona. Yeah, they've got the third and fourth races tomorrow evening. So that's where they are, but he's already won it, hasn't he? He's already won the championship, has Mr. Lullum. Right, blink and you miss it again. We got 2 minutes left of this practice session. It's just flown by, absolutely flown by. So, who do we think is going to win today then, ladies and gentlemen cars? Get yourself a vote in the chat then. Oh, I say a vote. Just get yourself involved in the chat. Jack Martin, by the way, has gone for a lovely carbon livery. I reckon Jack is going to win today. My prediction is Jack. He is a generational talent. At one stage, he was doing a lot of F3 and F4 in a Discord and was streaming his races. And I'm telling you now, I have not had much more entertainment than when Jack gets behind the wheel. Absolutely ridiculous. It was wow, basically. Win or wall, just like Danny Juncadea said. Yeah, Jack Martin definitely gives out some entertainment. Yeah, the whole car's carbon fibre, guys, means it's lighter. And here's Atze Kirchhoff. Oh, rolling back those years. Look at this. Currently in P8. 4 tenths off and you're 8th. Just goes to show how fast the session is. Carbon fibre. Carbon fibre, guys. Lots of it. Lots of it everywhere. Oh, look, there he is. Max Verstappen. If you don't already follow him, head to Max Verstappen 1 on Instagram. And this quote, full send. There is no other gear than full send. Quite sickening that he's only 26 and everything he's achieved already. Ridiculous. And I'm sure we'll get to have a little chat with him later on as well. But he is the fastest right now as the session is about to close up. I think Max is about to be the fastest in practice. Fair play. So we get a lovely overhead shot then of Fuji International Speedway. We also get a little bit of drum and bass, I think. I'm not down with the kids, but I'm assuming this is something that they get played in the clubs these days. And there is the mountain in the background, Mount Fuji. Okay, I'm not really fond of racing around here, but I do enjoy commentating these races. But there is the official results then. And well, Max Verstappen, who is on camera. I'm not sure he's going to be able to give us a wave, unfortunately. But he is P1 in 134.606. I wonder if we might see a 0.5 today. Gianni Vecchio then is in second, 400ths of a second behind. William Chadwick in third, then 1/10 back. Then got Ola Steinbraten, who is in fourth. Gustavo Ariel is in fifth position. Maximilian Wenig, sixth. Mark Elkerman, seventh. Atze Kirchhoff, eighth. Jeffrey Rietveld in ninth. We've got Tom Manley in 10th. And then Jack Martin in 11th. And I'll tell you what, that's pretty impressive. 1.2 seconds off the pace for Jack, who doesn't really sim race. That is very impressive. He's a bit worried about being off the pace earlier on. And do you know what? Fair play to him. That is very impressive for me. Here we go then. We're in qualifying. First couple of laps here. They're going to be warming up their tyres and doing that stuff. Carmen, thank you so much for your prime. So if I just missed someone else, maybe I've just missed someone else. If I have, I can only apologise. Yes, we did. Sam MP, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. Very much appreciated. No upshift there. Just taking their time. Making sure that they don't overheat the tyres. As we head up towards that final corner. Probably my least favoured corner in the whole world of motorsport. I have no idea what line you should be taking through here. I have done so many races around here on multiple different sims, and I have still, to this day, zero idea. Norky Shorty with a gifted sub, thank you very much. Yeah, I still have zero idea where I should be putting the car. Well, that can't be good for the engine. Get a lovely little shot there, though, of Max. That was from Zandvoort. The Dutch Army. Just getting bigger and bigger and bigger by the day. So watching from the sidelines last year, Zandvoort race, it was just orange everywhere. Madness. Bioshine, thank you so much for subscribing as well. Appreciate that. All right. Final chance then, guys. Where are we watching from? Don't everyone type it at the same time, please, because I need to try and read them. So if you could all just space it 5 seconds between each other, that'd be perfect. Okay. Jinani, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Rosie. So again, ladies and gentlemen, just space it 5 seconds between each person who messages, okay? And then I can really read it. Germany, Portugal, Germany, England, Austria, California, UK, Norway, Netherlands, and no chance. Nope, and no chance. There's Bolivia in there, I saw, Kentucky, Poland, Eindhoven, and yeah, there we go. Turkey! Turkey! Oh, I went to Turkey when I went on holiday last year. Lovely, lovely place it is. We're on board then with Gustavo Ariel. I saw Torquay there. I did. It's not far from me. I'm from Dorset. It's not far away at all. All right, round the final corner. Here we go. Flyer lap time. Let's have a check out of this lap, shall we? On board with Gustavo Ariel. He's about to come across the start-finish line. And I'll take you here on a lap of Fuji Motor Speedway. So across the start-finish line we will go. And now it's the long run down in towards turn number 1. It's such a long straight here from the final corner down towards turn number 1, over a kilometre long. So we head then through turn number 1. It's a downhill acceleration zone, so it's so easy to get the power down a little bit too early, and you can run off wide. As unfortunately we've headed onto board for Maximilian Wenig. Would have been nice to have her on board for the whole lap with one car, but it's fine. We don't worry about it. It's good. As Wenig, they're using every bit of the track and maybe a little bit more. There's Jack Martin. Goes up to provisional pole. He does a 35.909. Pete, thank you very much for the resub. Appreciate that. 3 months. Atza's here as well, Rosie. The legend of the sim racing scene. But yeah, Jack right now is the fastest as it stands. I think he'll find a couple of tenths. It's Ola Steinbraten. He's bringing it around the final couple of corners. Got to hug that left-hand side and swing the car out. Such a tough set of corners to deal with. We are going to go and have a look at this from the perspective of the fridge, Mr. Steinbraten, for the entire lap then. So here we go. Now you'll see exactly how long this start-finish straight is, because, well, we're on board. Down towards the start-finish line we will go. Jeffrey Rietveld is up to P3. Atza was momentarily P2 as William Chadwick goes pole position. And Ola, well, we're not going to get a full lap here. He's just completely slowed down, which is a bit of a shame. But Ola is in third spot then with a 34.984. So 5 odd minutes left. And, well, that is proof, ladies and gentlemen, that these drivers are taking this pretty seriously. A little fun event. Real Racers Never Quit. There's no such thing as fun event for these drivers. They will absolutely put everything into it, every opportunity they possibly can. So here is Max then, who is yet to put a representative lap time in, as you can see, done a 48.551. But we're through turn number 1. Here we go. First flying lap then for our 3-time Formula 1 world champion. Into turn number 2 we will go, using a loaded curb on the exit. And now you want to keep the car nice and tight to the inside here, but you ultimately don't want to slide out wide through the mid part. So you're kind of doing a little bit of a diamond apex. We head then through towards turn number 4. Nicely done. Again, using all of the curb on the exit. Yeah, hairpin successfully negotiated. Now we go up the hill, switching it down to the back end of this circuit. Again, just on the brakes as hard as you possibly can, running a little bit wide into the grass there. You won't be too happy with that, and that will be a lap aborted here. We've got a few corners to go. As you can see, we're not doing the chicane in this variant, which is horrible anyway, so this is great news for not only me, but the drivers. Now it's all about trying to set yourself up for one more flying attempt. With 3 minutes left on the clock, it is very important now that Max gets a lap time in. Or, and I'm not opposed to this, we have a last to first challenge from our Dutch champion. Who knows? Who knows? Gustavo Ariel, by the way, up to pole position at 34.857. Right, let's have a little listen then to the engine and Max on his lap. So we're on board then with Gustavo Ariel, who is the fastest. He's managed to put in a 34.857. We saw a 6.06 from Max Verstappen in the practice session, so there's definitely more time to be found. But the practice session was 20 minutes, so they had more time to set the car up, or not set the car up, but set the tyres up in terms of a couple of laps and whatnot. But yeah, Gustavo Ariel, at the moment, the Brazilian, is on that pole position. So we're on board now with Elkerman, 35.005. Fridge on top of the radiator. No one see the irony in that? I do. As we head in towards the final couple of corners then, grabbing as much curb as you possibly dare. And now this is tough. Do you choose the outside line, the inside line? Apparently the best line through here is through bang in the middle. And you just got to try and get the power down without sliding that rear out. And Mark Elkerman is gone. Green, green. As you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, green, green's good. That's your personal best. Purple will be better than everybody. But if you're going personal best, that is good enough. Across the line we will go then. Elkerman, who's currently got a 35.005, 2 tenths, or 1.5 tenths off of pole position. Has he found any extra time? Nope, it's a 35.045, so 0.04 of a second off. But consistency is definitely there. So he's done. Gustavo Ariel is done. We've also got Ollie Steinbrecht, who's moved up to 4th. He's done. And Max Verstappen, at the death then, has gone pole position. He does a 34.762. We expected him to be up there. Maybe not the most conventional way of qualifying by making mistakes and then getting that final lap in at the death. But he's done it as it stands. We've got Wenig, who we're on board with now. He's on a 34.978 on a previous lap time. Can he find a couple of tenths? No, he's yellow, yellow. That means he's slower than he's gone before, unfortunately. And well, Max giving us a bit of drama here. Who would have thought it, eh? Maximilian Wenig. Very unlikely to see any improvement. Tom Manley also on a lap time. They're the last 2 drivers out on a circuit with 30 seconds left to go. Not sure that Manley is even going to get the lap time in. Across the line then for Wenig. He's kept going, so maybe the third sector's really good. And as he crosses the line, it is... Oh, we're about to see it in the top left-hand corner of your screens. Well, the time didn't pop up there. But with 4 seconds left to go, I'm not sure anyone's going to improve on what Max has achieved there. In his pole position, the track's definitely slowed down. It's 2 tenths slower than what we saw in practice. But that Max Verstappen, keeps on finding a way to get to the top of the timesheet. So he will take pole position. There's that smile on his face. It's a good lap time, 34.762. Gustavo Ariel then, he's got the whole of the Brazilian fans on his shoulders. You can see all of you in the chat as well going crazy. Sue, he's in second. Gianni Vecchio, who'd have thought the toaster would be P3. William Chadwick then 4th position. Ollie Steinbrecht in 5th. We then got Max Wenig in 6th. Elkerman 7th. Atze Kirchhoff is in 8th. Rietveld in 9th. Martin in 10th. And then Manley in 11th. I wonder if Max, if he's listening, he might give us a wave. I don't know, maybe not. But there you go, that is your 11 drivers for this race. The final race of Real Racers Never Quit 2024. And I'm sure they're going to put on an absolute show. Here comes the race then, ladies and gentlemen. We've got ourselves a rolling... I believe we've got a rolling start. They're all just getting themselves ready. Can we have some predictions then? Last chance to predict who you think is going to get the race victory. Let me know in the chat. Who do we think is going to go to the top? Here we go then. Safety car taking us away. Max, well you've got two drivers if you say Max, so fair play. So many Max fans. Max and Gustavo for sure have got the bigger votes. Do you know what? I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to say Gianni Vecchio. I'm going to throw Gianni Vecchio as my prediction. I know the doubters will say, yeah, you can't, surely you can't choose him. Well, I've chosen him. Gianni Vecchio for me. Right. It's time to rock and roll. It's Gustavo. Mr. Smiley. He starts on the front row of the grid with Max. The pace car will take him away, and I would imagine that Max is going to go as late as he possibly can here because the slipstream will be such a factor. And you can see that Gianni's trying to play mind games. Gianni's almost nudging Max along. Pace car's going to come in, and really, it's about when he's going to go. He covers off Gianni's move there, and this is very similar to what you see in sprint cycling at the velodrome. They normally wait until the last second to go when they do those races. And Max is taking us away then. He's caught everybody out there. It's brilliant from him. See William Chadwick in the other AMX car in behind Gustavo, trying to get up to P3. Might even be able to push Gustavo a little bit here. As we go across the line then, Max Verstappen takes us away for the final round of the real races. Never Quit 2024. It's 3 wide. In the background as Gianni has a little bit of contact there with Chadwick. Chadwick backs out. Gustavo Ariel is going to have to go the long way around as we see a spin then on the inside of the track. It's Ollie Steinbraten. I think he might have done that all on his own. Didn't look like there was any potential contact with anybody. Ollie Steinbraten then falls to the wayside. He will get going. There will be no damage to the car and he will be golden. But the race start has been perfect from Max Verstappen. Gianni Vecchio up to second spot then. So he has got the overtake done on Gustavo Ariel, and then the 2 AMX cars hopefully will be able to work together here. But the only unfortunate thing here for Chadwick is it's almost 3 wide in the background. Jack Martin sending one up the inside. I'm not sure he got the move done. No, Jeffrey Rietveld sweeping around the outside and holds on. Yeah, but the only thing I will say here is that you think Chadwick's got a friend, but unfortunately Gustavo is also a redline driver, so I'm not sure he's got many friends. Yeah, there you go. Ola was just grabbed too much curb on the inside, trying to avoid everybody else, and was a bit of a passenger. Car's bounced up in the air, and by the time he's dropped down to the ground, the wheels are going a little bit too fast to gain any traction, and the car's just gone the wrong way round. Very unfortunate. In towards that final corner we will come at the end of lap number 1, and Max already then with a 0.6 of a second advantage as we head then along that long start finish straight. We've got Gianni Vecchio on screen. You've got the active pedal cam for SimiCube there as well. You get to see some feet, some pedals, Gianni's face. What more do you want? And this is free content, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. So we're heading then down towards turn number 1 for the second time, and Gustavo just giving Gianni a little bit of a nudge there, trying to close the gap to Max Verstappen. You know, realizing that there's a bigger picture. He wants to go out there and get this race victory as they touch through the corner. You don't want to be doing that. Gianni seems pretty calm about it. Normally he's quite animated with stuff like that, but it seems pretty relaxed today. As we head then towards turn number 2. It's a very quick corner, but it's so easy to make a mistake there. It's Gustavo Ariel. Well, he was beyond the curb of all 4 wheels there, so he definitely would have got an incident point. That's for certain. So yeah, a little bit of touchy-touchy. So we go a bit further back here. Elkerman trying to battle with Jack Martin. He's going to have to go the long way round through the hairpin if he wants to make the move, although Jack may run a little bit deep. No, perfectly done. Just got to hold that inside line now, and you're good to go. Remember, there's no chicane at the next corner, in the exit of the next corner. So if you can defend that inside line, you're pretty golden. But actually, I'll tell you what, Elkerman has got a lovely run, and ultimately, it's going to be like taking sweets from a kid. Beautiful stuff there from Mark Elkerman, although Jack may be about to reciprocate. Well, is he going to keep his nose in there? He absolutely is. On the curb we will go. Elkerman has to leave the room. Well, Jack drives across. Hold your brakes. There's a bit of a smile there, a wry smile. Jack Martin was facing the wrong way. Well, now you've got Manley also trying to battle then with Elkerman's. Manley has just gone, cheers lads. No dramas. I'll have a couple of spots for free. Not a problem. But at the end of lap number 2 at the front end, nothing has changed. So we've got Verstappen leading Vecchio, Gustavo Ariel, we've then got Chadwick, Wenig, we've got Kirchhoff, Rietveld, and then Manley and Elkerman. So Ollie Steinbraten is out of this race. He has retired. Jack Martin in 10th position, you see in the background, is going to continue. And you've got Elkerman and Manley who are battling for a position towards turn number 1. They were side by side. And I think Manley might have just retaken that spot as well. So there is some proper ding-dong action a bit further back here. So here is the Jack Martin and Mark Elkerman incident. Yeah, Jack wasn't clear to jump across there. Mark hasn't done a lot wrong. They were battling nicely. Yeah, I think Jack had to leave a little bit more room. But fair play, giving us some entertainment at the back end there. Love to see that. At least they're going for it. And there's this battle that was happening all the way through sector 3 and then sector 1 of this lap. Tom Manley is trying to ward off the pressure then of Elkerman. Elkerman this time round is side by side as we come through the sweeping right-hander. This is 300R. And he took the inside line to make the overtake on Jack Martin last time. He's not going to be able to do so this time, as Manley sort of ushers him out wide, brakes a little bit later, and ultimately will stay in ahead. Brilliant stuff. So even though they're battling down at the sort of the rear end of the grid, they are still battling, which is nice to see. So up towards those final couple of corners we will go, and Manley holds on to that P8. Gap at the front end has closed up a little bit. About a tenth of a second gained by Gianni Vecchio on that last lap. So the gap now to under half a second. But you need to be super close. You've got to be super close out the exit of that final corner. Gianni now starts to flash his lights. Pretty sure he knows you there, Gianni, unless you just say another. And also, if I look in the Discord, you're all in the same chat. He knows exactly where you are, so I'm sure you're telling him as well. But yeah, flash your lights all the same, it's fine. Gustavo Ariel just falling a little bit further back. Got Chadwick in 4th position. Wenig 4/10 back as well. As Manley and Elkerman have just swapped positions again. So Elkerman's moved up into P8. They are putting on some sort of show. They've lost about 3.7 seconds to the group ahead. But yeah, Manley and Elkerman are putting on a bit of a show at the back there, which is nice to see. So we're heading through sector number 2 now, heading towards 300R. This is 2 corners, 8 and 9. Gianni trying to find himself an opportunity, but Max keeping Gianni at arm's length as we sweep through turn number 10. And then you would have 11 and 12, and this is actually called 13th as a corner, but without the chicane, it's 11th. Turn 11. Now we're heading through turn number 12. Again, a very tough corner. It's very easy to outbrake yourself. For me, but I'm only 2.5 KI rating, so maybe it's easy for these guys. And then into that final corner where, again, pick a line, any line, and just hope it sticks. Around the final corner we go. This is as close as Gianni's been on the exit of that corner. I think he's starting to find where he's faster, where he's slower, and he will close up significantly with that slipstream. He knows he needs to be ahead into that final corner going into the final lap, I think. 24 minutes remain. And yes, Gianni's gained about half a tenth of a second down in towards turn number 1. Is he going to try and send it? Not quite close enough. So you've got to be patient at this stage. Remember, Max has a chance to tie the most wins for the championship. Chris Lullum has 3 currently, Max has 2. So if he is to go out there and win today, that means he would have 3 along with Chris. Enzo's the only other driver to win a race in this season. Yeah, that's wrong, it's been 7 races, so who else has won a race here today? Florian Rabiga as well won a race in the Virginia International Raceway a couple of weeks ago. But in terms of top 5s and top 7s and all that good stuff, top 10s, so Max has got 3 top 5s, Lullum's got 5. In terms of top 10s, there's only 2 drivers who've been in top 10 every single race. That's Gustavo Ariel and Chris Lullum. So Ariel's going to be the only driver to have 8 from 8 if he finishes where he is right now. In terms of top 5s, Gustavo Ariel's going to move on to 4. Max is going to move on to 4 as well, but Lullum has 5. So yeah, lots of interesting stats from the season. Of course, Chris Lullum is our champion. He's not racing today, but he is already our champion. Max now starting to be a bit of a cork in the bottle because Gianni is as close as he has been through the final corner for the entirety of the race. Yes, there it is, just under 0.3 of a second between the front 2, and Gustavo Ariel is also finding a bit of time. You do not rule the Brazilian out of picking up a potential race victory. Front 3 now 1.5 seconds clear of William Chadwick. Hawk Holmes, this is iRacing. But down towards turn number 1, and does Gianni go for it? He does. Max defends very late indeed, still hits the apex. No, not even a crack of a smile on his face. I think this is business, ladies and gentlemen. When it's Gianni versus Max, there it is, there's a right smile. But when it's Gianni versus Max, it's just a little bit more personal. They very much get on extremely well. They've known each other a very long time. And so they can kind of get away with a little bit more with each other. And yeah, that was a very late move for a bit of defense there. And really the big winner of that is Gustavo Ariel, maybe even William Chadwick in P4. But the biggest point really is that he still leads this race. Still over 20 minutes to go, so plenty of time. Gianni doesn't have to force anything, but he could not help himself but smile. I love that. On the exit of turn 1, he just had to let out a little giggle. was good. That was really, really good. Got some Gustavo Ariel fans wanting him to go out there and get the victory as well. He's close enough. Maybe Max Wennig could find some magic if he gets dragged along here by Chadwick. The front three battle. There is an opening then for Wennig. Oh, I'm pretty sure there's a section of fans in the red line chat right now that would love to see Max Wennig pick up another victory at the start of this year. Oh, whoa, hold on. What happened there? Gustavo Ariel? Well, has he hit one of those yellow sausage curbs? It looked like he hit a landmine. Gustavo Ariel isn't going to win this race then. And out of nowhere, it has become a two-driver race. He's smiling, but he is just completely clattered into something. So what on earth has happened there? I think he's run wide. But the front two on the exit of turn one are very close indeed here. Gianni Vecchio might have the pace here on Max, you know. He's on the brakes a little bit earlier there, using a bit more track, but he's going to have to go the long way round. You can see that there is almost a smile from him. I think he knows that this is going to be fun. The next few laps here are going to be very fun and interesting. And Chadwick in P3 right now is thinking, it'd be nice if you could start making this fun right now. Let's not leave it till the late stages of this race. Let's at least give me a chance to catch up. I'm not sure that these two are going to allow that fact. They've got the gap. They know now it's going to be a 1v1. We almost need to be on the map rust for this. See who comes out on top. So 20 minutes of action left to go as we head towards the final couple of corners. And it is a bit of a stalemate as it stands. Gianni went to look for it on the last lap, but ultimately wasn't able to make anything happen. He's taken a nice wide line through there. Here we go. So we're going to see the Gustavo Ariel incident. He runs wide, and he's hit that yellow sausage cut. Oh my. Wow. Yeah, his front splitter is clattered into it, just chucked him up in the air. They were smiling, but I'm sure he's going to be pretty annoyed. But as you can see with the front two, I'll tell you what, you see Gianni decides against it, and he is playing with Max here. So we thought Max was playing with Gianni, but he's playing with Max a little bit there because he let off really early. He wasn't looking to make that move there at all, and he kind of just forced Max into a bit of a fake there, a bit of a mistake as well. And this is starting to get very interesting indeed, trying to find himself a bit of space to work with. Again, you can see his face. He wants to smile, he wants to crack up, but he also needs to take this pretty seriously. He also wants to win the race. So the front two separated by about 0.2 of a second. Now got Max's face on camera. So again, this is just a little bit more personal. Gianni versus Max, there's no such thing as friendly between these two. This is like two siblings fighting, just to put it into context. As much as this is a fun championship, these two will not want to lose to each other, because for the next 6 months in a Discord call, it will be, do you remember Fuji, as the comeback for any amount of banter. Doesn't matter what happens, it will always be, what happened at Fuji, do you remember that? So, yeah, like now, last year, Josh carried Gianni to a win at Watkins Glen, and anytime Gianni says something to anytime Gianni says something to Josh, Josh just responds with, what about Watkins Glen? That is how these drivers work. So this is a grudge match for the ages. Neither can win the championship, but there is bragging rights on the line. Down towards turn one once again. Both of them getting very, very close indeed. Gianni just being very patient. They are still gapping P3 right now. They're still taking a 10th or so a lap. So they've not really got too much to be worried about in terms of being caught by Chadwick, unless they really do go at it side by side. But this might be one of those moments, guys, where we ask you, where were you? Do you remember the battle between Max and Gianni at the start of the year? As Gianni grabs a bit too much curb on the exit there. That's going to slow him down for sure. And again, you can see the Gianni maybe just pushing a little bit too much. At this stage of the race, you're going to start hurting with the tyres in terms of temperatures. If you've slid them anywhere, if you've tried to make a move wasn't quite on, or you've over-defended somewhere. It's now where it's going to start hurting you. These two have been relatively smooth. Gap to Chadwick has actually come down that last lap, nearly 0.2 of a second. So the fighting between these two, maybe bring a third car into play. Gianni maybe just falling about a tenth further back. Heading then across the start-finish line. Halfway point. A little bit closer on the exit of turn number 1. So along the start-finish straight, was a bit further back, but needs to get back up underneath that rear wing on the exit of the final corner. Gap back up to 1.6 seconds for P3. Get a bit further down the grid then. Elkerman closing up to Gustavo Ariel. So damage is off, so you will see damage to the cars, but then it should just fix itself. So Gustavo will have a perfectly working car. No need to be worried about that at all. But Max again, defending from Gianni Vecchio. That Super Mario helmet on, you can see once the sun isn't shining off of the windscreen. There you go, you can see the Super Mario helmet. You've got the mountain of Fuji, Mount Fuji in the background. As we see how close Gianni can get. Wow, how close do you want to get? Yes, will be the answer. Very close indeed. And this is where, if Gianni's a little bit closer in the final couple of laps, Max will have to take a very defensive line into that corner. Otherwise, Gianni will just send it up the inside. But this is as close as they have been together as they go across the start-finish line. I think we might see the first potential move from Gianni. They close up then, in the slipstream they go. Gap now to under 0.2 of a second across the start-finish line they happen to traverse by. As Max then goes really defensive on the inside of turn number 1. Gianni has got a bit too much of an overlap there actually, and ultimately Max is going to hold on, but Gianni is going to try and bite back here. Ooh, looks to try and make a move down towards turn number 2. William Chadwick now loving this. This is exactly what he wants. He wants to slow each other down. Through turn 2 they come. And ultimately, Gianni just filters back in behind. Gap to P3 now, 1.2 seconds. So 0.4 gained on that previous corner on its own. That's how much time they lose. We've got a lovely view then of Max looking back at Gianni. And then we've got in the bottom right-hand corner, Gianni looking forward to Max. With that AMX Global car in P3 now, only 1 second behind. Max there with the big exhale. I'm telling you, as much as this is fun, guys, they do not want to lose to each other. They are like brothers. This will go down to the wire. It's the final couple of corners once again. We're well over the halfway point of this race now. 13 minutes left to go of our Real Racers Never Quit Championship. Remember, Chris Ludham is our champion. I tell you what, this is a great run from Gianni. Gianni is closer than he was prior to, on the previous lap actually. He's able to take that wider line to open up the final corner, because Max has to go defensive, has to stop the potential run up the inside of Gianni Vecchio. So across the start-finish line they were coming. You can see the slipstream taking effect as we get into the higher gears. Down towards turn number 1 we go. Max goes for the defensive move early. And now Gianni has got to try and force that overlap to sweep it around the outside and have the inside line for turn 2. He actually decides to go for the over and under. And once again, Max is going to live to fight another day. But look who is in the background. William Chadwick, who gave us some very interesting racing at Daytona, made everyone fight at Daytona, thus giving us about a 9-car race victory. It would actually be nice to see Chadwick get involved here for a potential victory. Let me know in the chat if you're enjoying this. Just a simple yes, guys. If you're not, well, don't bother. We don't want to hear that, it's fine. We're only here for it. Oh, there's lots of yeses. There are a lot of yeses. Oh boy. See, I just saw a comment there. Max looks bored. No, Max is just trying to hit the same breaking point each and every time. This isn't boredom. This is concentration. There's a difference. You have to concentrate, keep hitting exactly the same break points, get the acceleration point right. Heading up towards that final corner once again. Gianni a little bit closer, but as you can see, Gianni will go out wider, then cut back. Be on the power a little bit earlier than Max in front. The gap between them. Well, it's exactly the same. Yeah. 2.7 tenths of a second between the front two. As we see now, the potential move of Gustavo Ariel on Jeffrey Rietveld. Gustavo into the slipstream. They're going to go down the pit lane. Might run through the pits together. That would be quite funny. Gustavo then should have the momentum and should just about be ahead down towards turn number one. This is what Gianni needs to do. Gianni needs to be ahead down towards turn number one, then have the overlap for turn two, because you won't get the move done through one. It's all about getting the move done through turn number two. So you pinch the car on the inside onto the apex, meaning they get a slow exit, keep the overlap, and then you've got to force it down the inside through the next corner. And then Gustavo Ariel will get the overlap. Fully done. Well, actually, no. Jeffrey Rietveld uses all of the track on the outside. The smile there from Gustavo Ariel. He's like, I know exactly what you're doing there, Jeffrey. Using up all of those incident points. I'm not sure it's a slowdown there either. So ultimately, he will just get the 1x. Yeah, Gustavo knows that Jeffrey's a wily old fox. Look at the lead, though. The gap between P2 and P3 is now only 0.6 of a second. It is closing down. Oh, it is closing down. So to the final corner we go, and we are under the 10-minute mark. So 10 minutes left to go in this race. So Max, again, takes that more defensive line, but he's got a bit more of a gap then. He's got a full 1/10 of a second extra to work with. Gianni now has got to figure out a way of making this move. Oh, Gustavo Ariel has sent one up the inside of the final corner as well. He looked to make the move, and while he's now actually brought in Mark Elkerman. So Elkerman is now getting involved as we head to the lead battle as well. Big screen's the lead battle. Gianni almost cleans out Max. Oh, I honestly thought they were all going to be facing the wrong way. And again, Chadwick, the big winner in this situation, he now moves up into third spot. Well, I say moves up into third spot. He's been there the whole time. But he moves into a position now where he might be able to challenge the front two. Then you've got the battle for P6 in the background. Rietveld, we've got Ariel, Elkerman, who's now creeped onto the back of them. It's one of those circuits where if you start to run side by side and start to try and make an overtake on someone, you lose so much time to people behind you. You know, the gap in the lead group here has been cut by 1.6 seconds, now only 0.4 of a second from P3 to P2. And while we see the battle here for P6 as Gustavo tries to make a move on Rietveld, the gap between them and Elkerman was 3 seconds. So Elkerman's been able to catch up 3 seconds because of the shenanigans of the battle for P6. So lots and lots of action happening here on circuit. We've got a battle for the lead and a battle for the top 6. Looks like Atza going to pick up a nice top 5. Max Wennig in P4. 2.8 seconds behind this. There is a world where Atza, who's flashing the lights, by the way, at Max Wennig, there is a world where those two drivers catch up to this front three if they continue to battle. So Gianni Vecchio, maybe a little bit closer than he was on the previous lap, and he looked to make a move, nearly hit the rear end of Max Verstappen. We've got just under 8 minutes to go, and it really is between these three, unless they get mixy with each other. Down towards turn number one. Max defends very early as Gianni. Not sure what he was trying to do there, but they've both completely run wide. And well, William Chadwick is going to get given a freebie. He's up to P2. And well, thank you very much. So Gianni tries to make a move and forces Max to run wide. We head through turn number 2, and things are starting to get spicy. Look at the gap behind. Max Wennig caught up by half a second because of that little exchange. So yes, there is a world where the battle for P1 becomes 5 cars. We're seeing the battle for P6 in your bottom right-hand corner. They're coming through turn number 2. They're side by side. Gustavo Ariel's time to go off wide on the circuit there. And well, Rietveld's going to hold on. Atza Kirchhoff's car is just doing magic things by disappearing. Sorry, it's not Atza, is it? That was Elkerman. Elkerman just making a move then on Gustavo Ariel. And as we head then through turn number 10, William Chadwick is, well, has positioned himself in with a chance of winning this race. Gianni Vecchio has lost out by trying to make a move for P1, or I don't even think he's trying to make a move. I think he's trying to fake for it. Wow, okay. Round the final corner we will go. And the battle for the lead then is 3 cars. Are we all still here, guys? Get yourselves involved in the chat. Hey, keep the vibes up. We've got plenty of time. Keep those vibes up. There's the smile. He's in the lead. Chapman's flashing his lights. Yes, we know you're involved in this. We know you're involved in this. Down in towards turn number 1 that they will go. As there's a slight mistake there from Chadwick, runs a little bit deep on the exit. And I'm not sure who Max would prefer behind him right now. I think Gianni's quite predictable. They've raced each other many, many a times. Whereas Will, they've raced each other a few times, but not as many as Gianni and Max have raced. So maybe the unpredictability of Chadwick here makes him a little bit more dangerous than Gianni. But they also bring the risk now of Max Wenig catching up. So a couple of tenths being caught up as well. The elite club of 3, we're all good, guys. Yeah, it looks like Twitch is having a funny 5 minutes. But let's just concentrate on the racing, shall we? That's what we're here for. So heading up the hill through turn number 10. And now once again into that very tough complex of corners. 11, 12, and indeed 13. As you see, oh, Jack Martin doing his best Ken Block impression, drifting it around. Hey, sometimes you just got to make things look cool. Sometimes it's not about the result, sometimes it's about how cool you look. Jack Martin, I'm giving you a 10 out of 10 there. You look pretty cool. Heading in towards the last 5 minutes then, guys. The last 5 minutes of this race. Average lap time is about a 1:35, just shy of a 1:35. Heading then in towards the first few corners. We're about to get the link sent for the vote for driver of the round, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to post that in the chat. So make sure that you're all ready to go and vote. Here we go. We've got ourselves the link. I'm just going to post it in the chat, guys. There we go. Make sure you go vote for your driver of the round. I'm posting it many, 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 many times. Going to give Chadwick a vote. Going to give Chadwick a vote, I think. I had to give Chadwick a vote. So it's closing up between the front 3 drivers, as you can see. Now, this isn't the front 3, is it? Sorry, it looks exactly the same as the front 3, but it's not. We can see Gustavo Ariel trying to find himself an opportunity with Jeffrey Rietveld, and Rietveld is effectively parking the car on every apex here. Gustavo trying to fight for his life, and he's just left the door open for Elkerman to potentially send one up the inside, but it's not going to work out. He's going to get the power down nicely, and this, by the time we head down towards turn number 1, yeah, this should be an absolute freebie. Should be a bit of a freebie by the time they get down towards that braking zone. Not quite close enough to be bump drafted by Elkerman. I say freebie, they're still side by side. Jeffrey Rietveld could probably brake as late as he possibly can. And I reckon they might end up both running a little bit wide. Elkerman, is there an opportunity? Is there an opening for him? Not quite. The door closes as quickly as it opened. Heading in towards turn 2 once again. Gustavo may be using up his 1Xs now, trying to find that little inside opportunity. And now he's got to switch around the outside through the hairpin. And this has just been a battle throughout the whole race. He's trying to keep that overlap, and it's just not going to work out. Jeffrey using every ounce of his experience in sim racing, as we see a late break there from Gustavo, realizing that he has to go out nice and wide to open up the corner. Oh boy, oh boy. Now into those final couple of corners, and we've got, what, 1 minute, 40 seconds left to go. And I think that means we've got 2 laps remaining of this race. 2 laps remaining of this race. I'm pretty sure. Well, it might be the last lap again. I'll have to get that confirmed. So there we go. Front 3, separated by absolutely nothing. There they are. That's the battle we want to see. Down towards turn number 1. We've got Max on camera, and Gianni has completely dropped off the face of the earth. So it is between Max Verstappen and William Chadwick for the final win of the season. Can Chadwick find a bit of magic here? Has he been able to... Oh, I tell you what, Gustavo Ariel, as soon as we go off the battle between Gustavo Ariel and Jeffrey Rietveld, well, Gustavo makes the move, and he's got it stuck there. It's a nice job. Really good battle between those two. And Elkerman's just in the background going, yeah, that was fun to watch. Had the best seat in the house. So up to the front then we go. Max Verstappen versus William Chadwick. Gianni Vecchio's dropped off now by about 0.7 of a second. So it is between these two for our final round win. And this is the last lap, I believe. We've got a couple of corners to go. I think this is going to be the last lap. Heading round the final couple of corners, the slowest part of the circuit. Through the left-hander, in towards that final corner. Is there an opening here for William Chadwick to just send one up the inside? He's not close enough to do so, meaning Max will get on the power a little bit earlier. And as we head then down towards the start-finish line for the very final time, the final race of the Real Racers Never Quit 2024, to tie up with Chris Lulham. It's 3 race wins for the season for Max Verstappen. He won't win the championship. Chris Lulham will have that. But in the rounds he has made an appearance, has looked unbelievable. Congratulations to Max. He picks up the victory. William Chadwick, well, he got gifted an opportunity because Gianni Vecchio decided to send it, as we see a car jumping over Max. Oh, now he's been, well, sent across the gravel, and he just about hangs on. There's a bit of car hanging off. Car's fixed again. He's probably going to drive head on with everybody now. Oh dear, that's Gustavo Ariel, and, well, that's Elkerman getting involved as well. And to finish off the season, why not end up on your roof? Perfect. Damage may be off, but you're not recovering from that. That is going to be a toe to the pits. What a way to finish off Real Racers Never Quit 2024. Max also won Driver of the Round with 77% of the vote. So congratulations to Max on that little victory as well. What a way to warm up for his summer job, Formula One, coming up very shortly for him. But let's get a look then of the official results, or at the official results, should I say. Get a lovely pan shot here of Fuji Speedway. Max Verstappen, race winner with 30 points going on to his total in this championship. Chadwick picks up P2, he gets 25 points. We've then got Gianni Vecchio in P3, Max Wennig in P4, Atze Kirchhoff in 5th, Gustavo Ariel in 6th. We've then got Jeffrey Rietveld in 7th, Mark Elkerman in 8th, Tom Manley is in 9th position. We've then got Jack Martin, who was 3 laps down but gave us a lot of entertainment, and Ola Steinbrein, unfortunately, just had a bit too much fun with the curb at turn number 1. The Simicube fastest lap goes to Gianni Vecchio with a 1:34.500. Oh, it's done. It is all over. What a season we've had, ladies and gentlemen. 8 races in total. We have had 2 drivers pick up 3 race victories. We've, of course, had Florian and Enzo pick up a race victory as well. We are very shortly going to be speaking to some of our drivers, so just hang in there, and then we will get them into the interview room for you to have a chat. But what a season. Thank you so much for everybody being a part of it. Don't worry about Twitch having a funny 5 minutes, guys. There's more than one person watching, I can assure you of that. But I've had an absolute blast being your host and commentator, and hopefully you've enjoyed the Real Racers Never Quit, the way that it's been run, the drivers you've seen, and indeed the entertainment that we have given you. We will for sure be running more series in the future, and maybe you've got some ideas, so absolutely send that to us, whether it be on social media or in the Discord. Just make sure that you do indeed go and follow us on Twitch, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, and indeed head to our Discord. But yeah, what an end to today's race. Max Verstappen is victorious at Fuji. He warded off the pressure of Gianni Vecchio for about 20 minutes, I guess, and then William Chadwick got involved. But it wasn't a match for Max, because Max does come out on top, and I believe that might put him into 2nd spot in the championship. But first up, we're going to talk to you P3 in the championship. We're going to have a little chat with Gianni Vecchio. Mr. Vecchio, how you doing, mate?
Amazing, really good. Not fired up or anything.
It was really good to watch, man. You and Max giving it some. I was trying to explain to everyone in the chat that as much as this is a fun event, you two are like brothers. Like, if whoever comes out on top of this will be like, oh, do you remember that Fuji race? Every time there's a bit of banter, that will be the comeback. Unfortunately, you tried to make a move. You both ran wide, and you gave William Chadwick the opportunity to come second. How gutting was that?
Yeah, it was not too bad, not too bad. I mean, it's kind of refreshing not having to drive against the three-time world champion, but the world champion of moving under braking, which was really good. At the end of the day, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, Chadwick went through, which was not planned, which I got a bit angry about, because Mr. Chadwick suddenly lost all his talent in the space of 6 minutes. But yeah, I really wanted to win this. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's always the worst field, like the worst losses are the ones that are against your closest mates. So it drives me crazy. I have to say, I'm not happy right now. I have my heart is beating very fast. So
hey, you know me,
that's what it is at the moment.
I'm not going to kick a man when he's down, but you say that Chadwick lost all of his talent. He finished ahead of you, so you've got a lot to answer for, really. Anya is going to be fuming.
Oh man, I tell you, I'm gonna be fuming. I'm fuming more, 100%. I think not even I don't even know if Mount Fuji is a volcano, but not even the magma and the lava in there is as hot as I am at the moment. So.
Oh dear. Well, enjoy the doghouse, mate. Hopefully you have fun there this evening. But yeah, well done, mate. Thank you for coming and getting involved, bud. And
thank you. Thank you.
Some streams. So there you have it. There is Mr. Vecchio. Looks like we've got an interview with our P2 this time round, Mr. William Chadwick. Chadders, how you doing, mate?
It's nice to actually be in an interview booth, so that's good.
Wow,
good.
Yeah. Gianni basically gave you a free opportunity to go up to P2, and after the season you've had, considering you've, for the lack of a better term, you've been bullied by all the red line drivers. Even your teammate Gustavo is a red line driver. It must be quite nice to actually finish on the podium.
It's definitely nice to finish up here. I had a good race in a way. My qualifying lap wasn't great, but thankfully I kind of just sat back early on. Once you get like 2 or 3 cars back in a train, the dirty air can be pretty bad. So I just tried to save my tyres early on, and I knew Gianni had the pace to attack Max, but unfortunately they both decided to go exploring at turn 1, and thankfully I was able to pick up the position. So I tried my best to do a move on Max, but he just had that little bit too much pace for me to just have a run into a corner. But it was a great race.
Yeah, they ended up in Suzuka at the end of turn 1 in the exit. That was quite ridiculous. Gianni just said that you ran out of talent, by the way, for the last sort of 6 minutes there. What have you got to say to him, considering you finished ahead of him?
Well, I was considering letting him have another go at Max, because I knew he had the pace to attack, and that again could then have played into my advantage. But by the second lap behind me, he was like a second back, so I don't really know who ran out of talent there if he's saying that to me.
Yeah, wow, there we go. Sparking a potential rivalry for the next season. Who knows? William, well done, mate. Congratulations, and I'm sure we'll see you in the future.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Good to hear that from Mr. Chadwick, of course. Gave us some highlights in Daytona, especially because it was like a 7-car fight between redline drivers and him. Ultimately, he started to make it really mixy at Daytona, and thus gave us an incredible race finish. But obviously, the redline drivers pretty much bullied Chadwick in the end, and he fell down the order. But today, he managed to get that podium, which is nice to indeed see. We've actually got one of the most beautiful Brazilians in the world. We've got Gustavo Ariel now. Gustavo, how you doing, mate?
Hello, I'm still spinning around, so was not a lovely race for me today, but I was laughing a lot and I'm having too much fun in this championship. I'm going to miss the action, but for sure we get back as soon as possible for more real races. Never quit.
Yeah, mate, you gave us, obviously you hit that landmine earlier on in the race, which put you down the order a bit, and then you had to deal with Jeffrey, who used every ounce of experience that he's gained over the years in sim racing to put on a great show. Mark Elkerman, who's behind you, he was just going, like, he had the best seat in the house. How was that battle for you two?
Well, Jeffrey, it's a very experienced driver. In iRacing, he don't drive for a long time, I think. He just buy the car on the track today, so and he's up to pace very quickly, so that was good to see. Mark was just waiting the right moment to do the moves, but yeah, it was tough, to be honest. It's a very understeery car when you push on the brake, so yeah, it was difficult to get the move done, to be honest. He was preparing a lot the exit, so yeah, it was tough. The good thing, we have a very good setup for fighting in this race, so I could put on the straight on side by side, and I could do moves on turn one on the other straight. So yeah, it was a good battle. At the end, he overshoot a bit the braking point, and he completely missed it, and overtook, and I put my pace in the last lap. So yeah, it was a very fun race, and I'm happy to fight with Jeffrey.
Yeah, nice one, mate. Well, you've given us some really good moments this season, and I'm telling you now, I'm looking at the Twitch chat, there are so many Brazilian flags. You've got such a big support. So congratulations on your performance in this championship. Obviously, you've run with the AMX Global livery, but now back to Redline full-time, and well, welcome to the team.
Yeah, thank you so much, and it's been a fantastic first month with the team, and I'm very happy with the support of the Brazilian guys, and yeah, I'm so excited to keep it going, to still doing some fantastic races with the Team Redline, and let's see on the next opportunity. Thank you so much, guys.
There's only one more thing for you to do. Give us a sue.
Sue, receba.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Great to hear from Gustavo, and a big shout out to all of you watching at home, spamming the Brazilian flags in the chat. It makes a huge difference, I'm telling you now, to each and every driver, knowing that they've got supporters. Sim racing is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and to know that they've got people behind them, such as yourselves, is really, really important. So keep showing that support, keep spamming those flags, keep spamming the sues in the chat. It's always appreciated. Now we've got Mr. Max Verstappen, another race victory, tying Chris Lullen for 3 in the season. How was that for you today, mate?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, I think, at the end. I mean, qualifying was so-so, but the lap was still good enough for pole. But then I quickly realized, you know, in the race that Gianni had good pace. But yeah, as soon as I saw that, well, after the accident, of course, with Gustavo, that, you know, Will was quite close. I was like, okay, well, I'll just back him into it, and then we have a 3-way fight, you know, because that will always make it a bit more interesting. And I know how Johnny is, he's quite heated, so I was just waiting for him to stick his nose around the outside like a little bit further than he had been doing. And then I knew, of course, you know, you can't really go around the outside, so he lost the spot. But yeah, nevertheless, I think the whole race I had to push a lot, which, I mean, it's always a lot of fun like that.
Yeah, no, of course, it was great to watch. So we've done, what, 4, I think, iterations of Real Racers Never Quit. It's always been a little bit different each time. Is there anything particular that sticks out for you as maybe your highlight of the season?
I mean, I guess winning in general is always the best, right? I think the battle I had with Chris mainly in Silverstone, I think that one was insane with the F3 car. Yeah, I think every round it was quite a lot of fun, especially, you know, when you choose cars and track combos that, you know, you can follow a bit easier, and you know, you have opportunities to pass. I think that makes it always yeah, a lot of fun.
No, 100%. I'm sure on behalf of the chat, we're very thankful that you gave your time to come and get involved in this. Obviously, you've got a very busy schedule coming up now, and it's currently very busy as well. But to give us some time, it's always good to watch a 3-time Formula 1 world champion just having a bit of fun with his mates around some cool circuits and some cool cars. So, yeah, hopefully you've had as much fun as we have.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I love racing. I love racing on the simulator. Of course, now in a few weeks' time, of course, I'll have a bit less time. But that's why, you know, in the early part of the year and the last part of the year, always, you know, I can drive a bit more.
Nice one, mate. Well, thank you again. And, well, I'm sure I'll speak to you before then, but from everyone in the chat who won't, good luck for the Formula 1 World Championship season. And I'm sure you go out there and smash it.
Thank you, mate. See you next time.
I need to unmute and mute and all that good stuff. There we go. Right, we're good to go. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's done and dusted. Real Racers Never Quit 2024. As quickly as it started, it is over. We have had 4 race winners. We've had Max win 3, Chris Lullen win 3. We've had Florian Labigra win 1. We have Enzo Benito win 1. Chris Lullen was our overall champion. But let's check out the actual top 3 in the standings then before we head off. So there it is then, Mr. Lullum. Look at that beautiful man. 170 points then for him. Gustavo Ariel finishes in P2 with 148 points. And look at who finishes in P3. Oh, it's Mr. William Chadwick. Fair play to him, and I know he'll get a massive kick out of that. But ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, Real Racers Never Quit is just a bit of fun for you at home to just get a little bit of insight into some of the real drivers that are involved in and around Redline, and also some of our sim racers. And plus, we had a sprinkling of AMX Global drivers. Who knows what the future holds for Real Racers Never Quit? You know, I'm sure we're going to have more iterations of it. I'm sure we're going to improve and build on it. But without you watching at home, it is not possible. So thank you to all of you. I'm sure you've had as much fun as I have. And remember, Real Racers never quit.
I won't try to talk you into changing your mind. I only ask that you be